you do know that it was said that the Shogun was gay and he was smashing all of his samurais around it. That's fact. So if y'all boys think having a black samurai was crazy, imagine if they really went full tilt and made the Shogun gay and he was fucking all his samurais. How would you feel then? Look it up. But I digress. The time of this recording, it is 6:38 a.m. I woke up at 5 a.m. as I normally do to try to get a kickstart on the day, and I saw the Assassin's Creed account over here that's official from Ubisoft had the JPEGs of that. So at first I was like, oh no, they're about to delay Assassin's Creed Shadows, but no. The same drama that's been going on ever since they announced the game months ago about Yasuke and being black and this and that. So apparently they did something in game to potentially offend the Japanese community with like some flags or something, but of course at the core of it is just people being mad that they made a samurai black. And you have no idea how many times I've cut on this camera to just talk my shit. I said, you know what, I just don't feel like dealing with it. Even here on Twitter, I've got messages and DMs. I've deleted a lot of them, but this is one that I got back on May 16, 2024. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. What he said? Hey, I was called racist for my tweet saying I'm advocating blackwashing and tweet wasn't about Yasuke. I saved this because I had began doing a video essay where I was going to interview a legit, not a Twitter internet personality, a legit Japanese historian here in my local area, but I could not get the interview. I was literally going to do an interview and have him tell me directly, was there a black samurai? Because apparently on Twitter, all the historians say he was not a samurai, he was a retainer, he was just like an assistant, you know, to the shogun, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. All the grifters, as my boy Sadat would say, all the anti-woke DEI sweet baby, those motherfuckers that fucking sit in their house and fucking jack off all day. The ones that, if they don't see enough cleavage, or if they see some cleavage was a little bit covered up, they fucking spaz and start losing them.
But when I say that one little old mare
will be black,
well, then everyone loses their mind.
Those motherfuckers, those annoying bitches that cannot just, for the sake of life, just sit down and enjoy a game. Every fucking game we've had come out this year, there's some sort of drama behind it. They didn't do this. They censored this. Can I put this in there? They got a woman in there. They got a nigga in there. They got a fucking Asian in there. Oh my God, if it's not a fucking white male straight down the barrel, they fucking upset. And trust me, I see it. I hear it. I see it on the comments. I've been doing this long enough where I've heard it all. I've been called it all. I've been called a monkey, a fucking nigga, a fucking coon, fucking kiss ass, a shield, or this or that. And for this one, I'm not going to win because I'm a fan of Japanese culture. I'm a fan of samurai. I got a fucking Kamen Rider channel that's literally me reacting to this TV show that's in Japanese, to translate it. I mean, over fucking 300 videos, you know, for over a year. I'm a samurai fan. Shout out Corey Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a Ubisoft creator. So there's nothing I'm going to say to you that's going to be believable that it's from a real place. But what I can tell you is Skull and Bones is fucking dog shit. That's how I'm said. So I don't give a fuck about none of that. Anyway, so with that, I'm going to get to this in just a second. I just want to kind of recap you on what's been going on of all the shit that I haven't been able to talk about. Then the other day, an actual Japanese man and a Japanese historian, a legit one, not one of these internet motherfuckers with Wikipedia, an actual historian living in Yamanashi, specially appointed professor at the University of Health and Sciences. You know, I ain't gonna read this whole shit, but he legit, 39,000 followers. He put out a tweet the other day, and all the fucking grifters and fucking mama's basements, closets, racist fanboys, it was quiet. Because this is what he said. I'm going to read it bar for bar. You'll see some B-roll here so you can look at my black ass face all the time. It seems like there's a lot of talk about Yasuke, a black man who served Oda Nobunaga. There are very few historical documents about him, but there's no doubt that he was a samurai who served in Nobunaga regardless of one's social status. If one's master promoted one to the rank of samurai, he would become one in medieval wearing state society. I can say this because the historical document states that Nobunaga gave him a stipend. He was given a house. He was given a sword. Being given a stipend and serving Nobunaga closely fulfills the important requirements of contract between master and servant, an agreement to receive a stipend. Basically, that boy was getting like an allowance, you know what I'm saying? You know, and they ain't giving out allowance to nobody around, especially around that time. It is also important that he was allowed to carry a sword. So he was a two-sworded servant and not a servant. Servants were not allowed to carry swords, and if he was given a house, there's no room for doubt. He was probably a slave until Nobunaga took over the missionary slave, but due to the above, number 1, 2, Episode 3, he probably became a samurai of his own volition. During the Hononji incident, Akachi's side did not kill Yasuke because he was an animal or not Japanese, but that was only because Akachi did not recognize Yasuke as a samurai, probably because he had discriminatory feelings. At the time, he was coming for a master to promote someone of low status to samurai to begin with. There's a good example in Hideyosha. So that's a bar. And honestly, if you watch the TV show Shogun, here that was out a few months ago, it's absolutely fucking phenomenal. Oh my God, it's in Japanese, so you gotta put down that goddamn phone and you literally have to pay attention unless you can speak Japanese fluently. And it was almost the same thing happened there, except that was with a white boy. And he got real close, you know, he wasn't the Shogun, but you know, with the headmaster, with the main guy, he made him a samurai. You know, he gave him a house, he gave him a girl, he gave him everything that he wanted. So, and of course, a lot of the Japanese guys, they was like, man, fuck this gringo, bro. Well, he ain't no fucking samurai, you know, and that's how the story goes. I don't want to spoil it, but a similar thing happened. So is it possible, especially back then, that the Japanese samurais was looking at him like, who this nigga? What the fuck? He gave him a son. Man, if you don't get, that's a fact. I know that happened. Why? Because it's 2024 and the same shit still going on. Fast forward 2020 and you got the same agenda. This is one of 4 too, by the way. I'm gonna read this bar for bar, so lock in. First, we want to express our heartfelt thanks for all of your support for the Assassin's Creed series, which has now had its own history spanning almost 20 years. Over the time, we have explored various settings, time periods, and characters from Assassin's Creed during the Third Crusade to the Viking Knight century, England, and countless more. For many of our team, creating an Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan has been a long cherished dream. Since the announcement of Assassin's Creed Shadows, we have received many positive reactions, but also some criticism, including from you, our Japanese player. We share your passion for history and deeply respect your care for the historical and cultural integrity of our rich heritage. We would like to address a few points to clarify our intentions to creative decisions. Overall authenticity efforts. We have put significant effort into ensuring an immersive and respectful representation of feudal Japan. However, our intention has never been to present any of the Assassin's Creed games, including Assassin's Creed Shadows, as a factual representations of history or historical characters. Instead, we aim to spark curiosity, encourage players to explore and learn more about the historical settings we get inspired by. Assassin's Creed Shadows is our first and foremost designed to be an entertaining video game that tells a compelling historical fiction set in feudal Japan. Our team extensively collaborated with external consultants, historians, researchers, and internal teams at Ubisoft Japan to inform our creative choices. Despite sustained efforts, we acknowledge that some elements in our promotional materials have caused concern within the Japanese community. For this, we sincerely apologize. All game footage presented so far is in development and the game will keep evolving until launch. Based on the constructive criticism we have received, we will continue our efforts until we put this game into your hands and beyond. We will also want to clarify that while we have been consulting with many people throughout the development process, they are in no way responsible for the decisions that are taken by the creative teams and the interests of gameplay and entertainment. Consequently, we respectfully request that any criticisms not be directed at our collaborators, both internal and external. Creative liberties and historical inspirations. While we strive for authenticity in everything that we do, Assassin's Creed games are works of fiction inspired by real historical events and figures. From its inception, the series has taken creative license and incorporated fantasy elements to craft engaging and immersive experience. The representation of Yasuke in our game is an illustration of this. His unique and mysterious life made him an ideal candidate to tell an Assassin's Creed story with the setting of feudal Japan as a backdrop. While Yasuke is depicted as a samurai in Assassin's Creed Shadows, we acknowledge that there is a matter of debate and discussion. We have woven this carefully into our narrative, and with our lead character, Japanese shinobi Noah, who is equally important to the game. Our dual protagonists provide players with different gameplay styles. We greatly value your feedback and we encourage you to continue sharing your thoughts respectfully. While we understand that meeting everyone's expectations is very difficult, we sincerely hope that the Assassin's Creed Shadows launches on November 15th. Players in Japan and around the world will appreciate the dedication, the effort, the passion we have poured into it. The Assassin's Creed Shadows development team. Now, y'all know I'm serious when I'm not cracking jokes. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I'll throw a dick joke in there or a Diddy joke in there somewhere, but you know I'm serious when I had to correct the joke and I read it straight. When I first read this, I was really about to make a different video because I thought they was taking Yasuke out. game. Then I was about to really pop the fuck off. But apparently they're sticking to their guns, and hopefully they do that. And now listen to these fucking bitches, man. Us real gamers, man, we just want a good game. Of course, I want a good story as well too, but the gameplay is everything. I don't know, man. I'm exhausted. This whole thing exhausts me. This is one thing about being a gaming YouTuber that fucking sucks, because can't not see this. Now that I got our community, you know, especially a lot of people from the black community, they expect me to speak out on some of these things, and it's just so fucking draining that I don't want to get on this camera. I want to make you feel good. You can watch a video from me. I wanted to try to give you a few minutes of rejoice, which is why I try to cut down on my negative videos. But unfortunately, that's what moves the needle. But right now, it's not about that. Right now, it's just about me saying, fuck you dumb bitches.